Tom Brady. News reports are out now that even Tom Brady and his supermodel wife, Gisele, I don't know how to pronounce her maiden name, Bundchen? I don't know. His very beautiful wife, Gisele, are reportedly hiring divorce lawyers and looking to split up. I'm not all that interested in covering tabloid stories. I'm not all that interested. I feel very bad for Tom Brady and his wife, and especially for their kids. But this is not just a private matter. Sometimes you hear people say, oh, if a guy's going to get divorced, that's just a private matter. Stay out of his private life. It's not a private matter. Marriage is a public institution. That's why you do it in public. That's why you register it with the state. And before you registered it with the state, you would register it with the church, which was frequently established by the state. There has always been a public component here. You take your marriage vows, not just to your spouse, but before God, before some kind of minister, whether it's a priest or it's a minister of a justice of the peace. And usually you take those vows before your friends and family and the whole community. At the very least, you have to do it before a witness, right? Even if you go to the Elvis Chapel in Vegas, you got to do it before a witness. So this is a public matter. It actually is our business. And it's very sad. I'm sure these people are going through a ton of pain right now. But I think it is our responsibility as citizens, not friends of Tom Brady. I don't know Tom Brady. Not as, people who are in the family, but our responsibility as citizens to say, they shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do this. I know it's a fallen world and people have tough marriages and people go through rough patches. I have never seen a family improved by divorce. Sometimes, in very rare cases, there is not only a right, but an obligation to have some kind of separation. Let's say that, the husband is a knockdown, violent, abusive drunk, and he's thrown his wife against the walls. And sometimes, for just the protection of one's own life and the life of one's own kids, there is some separation that might be required. Say until the husband goes to rehab or something like that, figures out his life. I'm not denying that. But as a rule, I have never, ever seen a family improved by divorce. These people, I don't know anything about their circumstances. I don't know. Did someone cheat on someone? I don't think that's even being reported right now. What's being reported is that Tom Brady and his wife are getting divorced, or might be getting divorced, because they had an argument over whether Tom was going to retire from football or not. And she was upset that he didn't spend enough time with the kids and she didn't want him to go back to work or whatever. Again, this is all tabloid trash. I have no idea what's actually going on in the marriage. And I don't really care. Figure it out. But it's not reparable at this point. It's absolutely, the marriage is just beyond repair. No, it isn't. I asked, before I got married, I was asking for marital advice from lots of people. And I said, how do you avoid getting divorced? 50% of marriages or something end in divorce right now. So many of my friends and family members, their parents were divorced. How do you avoid divorce? How do you keep a marriage together? And the best advice I heard was very simple. They said, the best way to keep your marriage together and have a long marriage is just don't get divorced. Just work through it. All marriages are going to go through rough patches. Any two people who spend enough time together are going to have disagreements and going to have periods where they really don't like one another. But there is something greater than your individual desires. Certainly the kids' interests should come before the interests of the parents. But the marriage itself is an institution. And as we weaken marriage, culturally, politically, legally, as we weaken that, the whole country is going to weaken. They should not get divorced. I was also very taken with the Kim and Kanye divorce story, because you heard all these people, well, he's kind of crazy and she doesn't like what he's doing and they disagree over this, that. Who cares? Kim Kardashian goes and she does an interview with one of the glossy magazines and she says, I'm just not happy right now and I just want to, my 40s are going to be about me. No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be about you at all. And I don't care if you don't feel happy at this particular moment. You're not going to feel happy at every single moment of your life. It's a fallen world. There are more important things than your individual pleasure at any given moment. Just work it out. Work it out. And I'm giving this commentary not to stick my nose in Tom Brady's business or anyone else's business for that matter. I'm doing it because it's true. Neither of these people will be happier in the long run if they get divorced. I've never seen it. If you're listening to this and you've been divorced, are you really happier? You really happier? Do you really think your life is better because you got divorced? Maybe your wife left you. Maybe your husband left you. Maybe it was something that you really couldn't avoid. I'm not casting stones. But on the topic of divorce itself, are you really happier? No. I've never met anyone who could tell me that they're really happier by that. Speaking of pushing these narratives, speaking of everything, every single thing becoming super duper gay, we have got a trailer for this movie that my producers insist that I watch. It's called Bros. It's a movie. It didn't do very well, apparently, at the box office on opening weekend. It's apparently very, very gay. The producers want to know if I should review this movie, give an actual proper review. We'll take a look at the trailer together. You tell me if we should review the movie. The rest of the show is continuing now. You don't want to miss it. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.